The Clean Energy Resource Teams project, launched in 2003, connects citizens across the state with the technical resources they need to identify and implement community-scale energy efficiency and clean energy projects. A growing number of Minnesotans envision an energy future built on using energy wisely and generating energy from local renewable resources like wind, solar, biomass, and even hydrogen. The film you're about to see was created by the Central Region Clean Energy Resource Team, or CERT, to highlight some of the extraordinary energy projects happening right here in our own communities.
My name is Mike Kovakovich, and I'm the park manager here at Itasca State Park. This story starts with our site selection, and actually a little earlier than that, when the decision was made to make a new Mary Gibbs Mississippi Headwaters Center. It was done because the old facility was about 45 years old and not adequate, had some maintenance issues. But also we needed to do a better job of interpreting the site here, telling the many stories of the Mississippi headwaters, and we wanted to be able to do that year-round. So that drove the project where the interpretation could be viewed every day of the year, even though most of our visitors come during the summertime. Every day we have people that visit the headwaters here. We moved this facility further back. The facility actually sat about 100 feet to my right, closer to the river. It was within the impact zone. And so we wanted to move it further out. We also did not want to impact any of the archaeological site that is found here. So we did all of the building within the areas that had already been impacted. In fact, where we're standing used to be part of the parking lot. We reduced the parking lot size, pushed 3/4 of the building out into the parking lot, redid the parking lot, and one of the things we included in that was stormwater retention or stormwater ponds, so all of the drainage gets filtered before it ends up in the river. We also recycled the bituminous. That became part of the parking lot, and then we used native vegetation. All of the planting, which is still ongoing and in progress, is all native vegetation. We also utilized as many of the trees. We took out very few trees in construction of this site, some smaller ones on the edge of the parking lot here where the building is, but we're utilizing the trees and then with the plantings for shade, for energy efficiency in the summertime, and some protection from the wind in the wintertime. So those were all part of the natural environments that were used in the sustainable part of the design for this facility. All of the outdoor lighting and all the lighting in the building is high efficiency lighting. It uses motion sensors and light sensors and timers, so we don't have lights on up here when there are not people around or in the middle of the night. This part of the park is only open till 10 p.m., so we have very minimal lighting. Also, the lighting is all directional down, so it does not put light into the night sky. This is one of the sites our naturalists use for stargazing programs during the course of the summer, and we didn't want to add any more light and impact their ability to see the stars, which is one of the wonders of the park out here without all of the light. The building itself is about 6,000 square feet, but it also has 2,000 square feet of what we're standing underneath here that is covered, and another about 600 square feet of open covered space for outdoor seating for the dining room. The idea of utilizing the outdoors was so that interpretation that is spread all around here could be used year-round, and also it's a lot cheaper construction, less materials, less maintenance and upkeep to go about it that way. All the construction is modular construction, meaning that everything is in 4 and 8 foot increments, so there is minimal waste on materials during construction. All of the lumber is sustainable lumber. We have, like the decking here is FSC certified, all of it's certified. We have glue laminated boards. We have recycled product in here. We have agricultural composite boards that are made of wheat and sunflower seeds. And all of the plywood and decking is also certified. In fact, one of our displays here talks about the building itself and the sustainability of this building and the materials used. We utilized a lot of concrete. There's no carpeting in the building, and quarry tile, all long-lasting materials, shouldn't need to be replaced for many, many years. The concrete incorporated fly ash for strength, and then it also serves as a heat sink inside the building, so it does absorb some of that heat energy and retains that to lessen some of the energy needs. R value is a number that they use. The higher the number, the better insulating quality is found in it. The R value on the roof is an R40. The walls are R29, and all of the glass is high efficiency argon filled windows. So we have a very good R value in all of that. Also, the windows are operable. So on those days where you really don't want to turn on the air conditioning, you can open the windows and use the natural ventilation. The air circulation system within the building is also efficient. We recover the heat from that and use that in heating and cooling the building. And the furnaces and compressors for the air conditioners are all high efficiency also. Our domestic water system here is an high efficient system, starting with the way we heat the water and the water heater itself. But also we temper the water in the restroom, so and it's when you go to use those sinks and stuff, that water is set at a pre-temperature, so we don't have high temperature water or low temperature. It's always the same, and it's a recirculating system, so it lessens the demand where you don't need to run the water as long to get it up to that warm temperature. Also, from a water efficiency standpoint, I mentioned earlier, we have no irrigation system here, and that was part of the native plants, and again, to lessen the need to pump water and disperse it. When we started discussing the dining room aspect, we were very interested in using real dishes and a dishwasher because we didn't want to add things to the waste stream, all of the disposable products. In our research and in working with the architects and consultants on the project, we also found out it was cheaper from a labor standpoint or overall cost standpoint to have that dishwasher and someone doing the dishes that you're reusing and using the disposables. So we incorporated that. Also, all of the dining room furniture, the tables, the chairs, both inside and outside, were made by a local craftsman about 40 miles north of here with almost all native materials, sustainable materials again. And the sustainable lumber is a real important thing to us here at Itasca, but also to the department. Our department under the Commissioner's Office and then our Division of Forestry is currently finalizing, certifying all of Minnesota State Forests to sustainable practices, which will help us down in the future. So we wanted to be part of that. It's a big push in the department, but we felt it's real important here at Itasca. The sustainable lumber, what that means is that those trees are grown and harvested in a fashion that new trees and everything will come up from that, so it's a renewable resource. That we're not going in and cutting old growth and then just whatever happens. It's a planned forest system where when we're cutting the materials out, there's a plan to have new trees, new product growing in there, so it sustains itself over time. Now granted, that cycle can vary from 20 to a couple of hundred years depending on the type of timber, but it's important that we're treating the forest and making sure that when we take materials from it, it's still a healthy forest, and the sustainability is all about healthy forests. And then the last thing, and we have recycling centers spread throughout the parking lot for the public and here on the plaza. We also do recycling of all of our cardboard, things that food products or the gift shop items come in, so all of that's recycled too here at the park, and we have a recycling center, big one here behind the building also to take care of that.